Just a quick note before we dive in. This video falls under fair use, which permits commentary, criticism, and reaction content. All right, welcome back. Let's get into it. Today, we're breaking down a clip where current NBA players share their thoughts on something that's genuinely hard to wrap your head around. LeBron James still competing at the highest level at 40 years old.
You know, he's one of those guys that he probably will never come again. Just the talent, his ability to overcome all adversity, and his ability to exceed people's expectations of him.
I mean, obviously what he's done in this league throughout his entire career has been amazing. And what he's doing right now still, you know, in year 22, wow.
LeBron doing it at 40 years old. You see what he did the last two games? Efficient. You know, he obviously shooting the three ball a lot better, you know, now than when I first got in the NBA. But man, just how he adapt, you know, his game to his, you know, how old he is, you know, and it's amazing to see.
Size, the strength, and the IQ. He could do, you know, what he does with his frame and the way he takes care of himself. He doesn't have to be the best athlete on the planet. At one time, he was. I mean, we're not talking about best athlete in the association. He's best athlete on the planet, arguably. Just size, strength, agility, explosiveness. All of those things, agility combined. But at this size, and if he just wants to slow the game down and just play, you know, off of his brain and IQ, he could do that for another decade. I doubt he'll find interest in that, but he could.
Probably, arguably, if not the best ever. You know what I mean? He had that crazy dunk in the first quarter. So it was kind of surreal to see somebody 40 years old still doing stuff like that. So, I mean, I've been watching him since I can remember. So it was great to just go up against a guy like that on a nightly basis, really.
40 years old, he had 38, 8 assists, and only 3 boards today. But I mean, a 40-year-old man, 40 years old, like 40, like playing in the NBA. I mean, having 38 is insane. So, I mean, that's just all I got to say on that. And then
conversation in every locker room, at least amongst the coaches, in terms of just the utmost respect, because we live the grind. We live the back-to-backs and the travel and everything that goes with that. We observe, you know, habits, players' habits, and how people, you know, how players take care of their body. And so for him to do it at the level he's doing it for this long is just, it's mind-boggling. It's again, because we feel it. You know, and one of the coaches said to me, "Man, I'm tired." I'm like, "You think we're tired?" Like the players, you know, they got in at 2:30, whatever, last night. So, you know, I'm just disappointed I never got to observe it in person, the day-to-day. The coaches that have been lucky enough to be around him, and players to be around him and observe his routine, his habits.
He deserves to do exactly what he wants to do, because he's been spectacular for so long, and he's done it with class, with people putting him under a microscope for this, that, or the other. As you well know, in the beginning, if he shot it, they said he should have passed it. If he passed it, they said he didn't want to shoot it. You know, back and forth, and he just plays, and he plays to win. So to each his own. He owes nobody anything as far as how he should do something.
I think there were some things that got in the way of our relationship when I was a little bit younger, and now that I'm able to vocalize how I feel as a man and be comfortable in it, stand on my square and my beliefs and where I'm coming from, you know, I feel like our relationship's different because of that now. And definitely miss him playing out there, just making things easier, being able to run up and down the floor and just throw the ball to somebody like that, throw it in the air, just as athletic as they come.
Say that just from afar and as a fan of the game, just how he continues to defy, you know, 21 years in the league, and he's still doing what he's doing. I can't remember. There are a lot of guys that play late into the, you know, their career in the NBA, a lot of years, but not at the level that LeBron James has done. I mean, the fact that he continues to find ways to improve his game, a career high from the three-point line this year. And when you see him in transition and his ability to change ends of the floor, it's truly a marvel to watch what he's doing, and continues to do. And obviously he puts a lot of time into his body, into his craft, and that's why he'll go down as one of the greatest players to ever play.
Let me just jump in.
Let me jump in here for a second, because moments like this have a way of stopping the basketball world in its tracks. When you see active NBA players, guys who compete at the highest level every single night, pause to acknowledge what LeBron James is doing at 40 years old, that tells you everything. This isn't media hype or casual conversation. This is the respect of peers. And that kind of respect is earned through decades of relentless preparation, ironclad consistency, and a commitment to the game that most players simply don't sustain past their prime.
A long time now I'm alongside. It's hard to be impressed. It almost just looks normal at this point. So for him, it's continuing to keep inspiring the youth and keeping the gas on the pedal.
I remember when I was a little kid and he was in Cleveland. I was wearing his jersey. My barber is my dad's best friend, and he got me a jersey for my birthday or whatever, I forget. And I was trying to remember a time I could wear it. And I remember wearing the jersey while he was playing against Orlando, and he hit that shot with 1 second left. And I remember talking to my dad, like, I'm a little kid, so I don't know much. And I'm just like, there's no way they're gonna win. There's no way you're gonna win. And I just remember him catching and hitting it. And I just remember being out of breath. Like, I just got punched in the gut. Like, I didn't know how to react.
You know, seeing it firsthand of just all the work he puts into his body, you know, every single day, puts into his game every single day. And then he's just a smart player. Like, he understands how to get points. He gets 6-8 points a game just off sealing, getting over the top pass or back cuts, or, you know, just reading the defense. And he gets, you know, 6, 8, 10 points a game just by doing that because he's a smart player. But to see what he's doing now at 40, like you said, I couldn't imagine that, but that's why he's a great.
You know, he's one of the greatest of all time. You know, he's gonna make tough baskets. He's gonna make some tough plays, and, you know, can't get discouraged just because I keep trying to make it hard for him and maybe give him a different look. Keep battling.
At an extremely high level, for him to play as many years as he's played and still be able to turn it up, not just offensively but defensively too. Man, that's a huge credit to him. There's also a guy behind the scenes that has been with him forever, and you know, he doesn't get talked about a lot, is Mike Mancias. Mike Mancias was an assistant trainer when I got to Cleveland. He was a young assistant trainer, and LeBron has kept him as his personal trainer ever since. And
so what do I actually think about all of this? Here's where I land. Watching conversations like this one puts something into perspective that casual fans don't always think about. Just how rare it is for any athlete to remain genuinely respected across multiple decades in professional basketball. Most players get their moment. They dominate for a few seasons, the highlights roll in, the fan base grows, and then injuries creep up. Age catches up, roles shrink, and slowly the conversation moves on. That's the normal arc. LeBron James has refused to follow it. What makes his situation different isn't just that he's still playing, it's that he's still relevant, still carrying real expectations from fans, teammates, the media, and former players who know exactly what this level of competition demands. And that's precisely why the reactions from current NBA players carry so much weight. These aren't analysts sitting behind a desk. These are men who wake up every day and do the work themselves. They understand better than anyone what it costs, physically and mentally, to show up and perform at an elite level year after year. Some people watch LeBron and focus on the scoring. Others focus on his leadership and how he still shapes the teams around him. And plenty of people simply respect the discipline it takes to maintain that kind of conditioning deep into your 40s. There's also a broader conversation happening here, one about how different generations define greatness. Some fans measure it in championships. Others measure it in consistency over time, and a growing number measure it in cultural influence, how a player shapes the next generation and leaves a mark on the game itself that outlasts any single season. Wherever you fall on that spectrum, conversations like this one tend to land in the same place, a recognition that dedication, adaptability, and preparation across different eras of the game are something worth acknowledging regardless of where you stand on the GOAT debate.